Yeah, if you're wondering, I don't always wear aviators. I want to do a long form video because it's unique to the time of the things I have going on in my life, that I should be doing stuff like this for people who are new to faith, um, and for people who are advanced. It's something that you kind of take for granted when you have very strong faith. Um, when you're walking your walk with Jesus, and you're like, I've probably read the Bible a couple hundred times by now. So the concepts that are being professed and the alignment protocols that are happening as you're believing that it's true. Let's see, let me start at the beginning. I started dating a girl I haven't dated in almost 6 years, and I've been waiting and praying that God send me the one. Don't waste my time with, people who are half invested and all. I somehow weeded through, and I found who I think is the one. And it's cool because she asks me questions. She's newer in faith than I am. She still has faith, but she's newer in faith than I am. So she asks me questions that make me peel back the layers of my faith to answer it from the perspective of a newcomer. What makes you believe so hard? I'm always cautious when I answer questions, that I answer it slowly and methodically and accurately. So I sat and I thought, I was like, I didn't just believe because it was convenient or I was told to. I came to the verse where Jesus says, and I will give you rest. And all of me just tingled and vibrated with need. I needed that to be true. I needed the God of the universe, who is truthful and sovereign. Part of his properties is that he's the God of truth. And you believe it anecdotally as you read, like, he's the God of truth, you believe whatever that means until you need to believe. And I was not reading anecdotally. I was reading with the profession that I believed it was true. If you believe the Bible is true, you read it a different way than if you believe that God's proving himself to you. At some point, you flip and you're like, oh, well, I need that to be true. And you're like, I need to start proving myself to him because I need that to be true. So when he said, I will give you rest, the sin that stemmed into all my other sins was my desire to die. I had a killing myself problem. I was done. I've done a lot of things in life. I've made great money. Was working with celebrities all day, every day, between Miami and Nantucket. I used to party in Vegas. I've rented insane cars and gone to insane parties, and used to wear nothing but Versace and Prada. And like, I would wear it once and throw it away just because I could. Douchebaggy stuff. And eventually you see too much and you do too much, and life becomes empty. And like Ecclesiastes and Solomon, I was chasing the wind. There was nothing that could fill me. I won't go into the whys. Part of not having a son in your life, when you really want to be a dad and that gets taken from you, you stop caring about everything. There was nothing that made me happy. Not women, not money, not drugs, not alcohol. Nothing that satisfied that. And I was chasing the wind, trying to fill that hole with the world. But I had a God-sized hole in my soul that only God could fill. So when I came across the verse, this is long after I tried to commit suicide many times, in many ways, I will give you rest. When he's talking about those who are heavy laden and burdened, come to me and I'll give you rest. I stopped on that verse and I was like, I don't want this to be true anymore, because there's a lot of stuff in the Bible you read, you don't want it to be true. I don't want it to be the end of days. I want to see Jesus, but I don't want to see him wipe the world of wickedness because much of the world is wicked, and the altruistic side of me that wants to believe in mankind, I can't, because I have to believe in God first. And if he's righteous and good and he's going to wipe the world of wickedness, then I have to believe in him. But I didn't need to. I wanted to. When I came across that verse, I will give you rest, I realized I needed that verse to be true. That was the verse that just broke me. And I was just like, is he telling the truth? Is he being for real? Because if he can promise that, all bets are off. I don't care what else he promises, good or bad. If he's promising that, that's what I want. And it's still anecdotal belief until you really walk it and you see the resultant properties of walking in that faith. Because, blessings aren't what you... a person... they say, the most dangerous thing is a person who has nothing to lose. I'd say the most dangerous thing is a person who has everything to gain by death. I have everything to gain. It's not even like you're scaring me. You're promising me that I get to meet him faster. I get to have rest faster. Yes, I love the blessings of this world. And for instance, my woman, she's great. Love it. Love her. But am I willing to give it up to meet Jesus and have rest and go home? Yeah, she'll be there soon. All of us will. For the ones who are righteous. But I needed it to be true. And in that need, the roles reversed. Instead of God proving himself to me, I began to prove myself to God, because I need it. I'm so spiritually exhausted by this world and beat down. And I realized the coolest thing by talking to her, and then going through this process, her being of less faith. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's actually a wonderful thing for me, because I walk a very different, very fervent walk. Probably an intimidating walk for some people. But it is what it is. It allows me to pull back and analyze things for what they are and how I arrived here, because you forget the beginnings as you progress. You more or less just focus on the now. But it's so cool to be able to have a relationship where you both believe in the same leader. We're both being shepherded by the good shepherd, and we're both being led in the right direction. We're both going to be blessed the same way. We're going to be blessed together. And it's truly beautiful. You hear the verse, you want to be equally yoked. Well, a yoke is the bindings that they put on cattle, and they lead them around and to do tasks, you know what I mean? And unequally yoked, it's like having two separate yokes on two different animals, and they're, when one wants to go one way, one can go one way, one goes the other. But if you're equally yoked, it's a double yoke that you're both on. So if one goes left, they both go left, and they're both being led by the same leader. And that's really the awesome part about the Bible, is you're decentralizing your love to him first, and then he sends it back correctly led. You know what I mean? We lead based on feelings and thought. You will fail if you rely on yourself. But relying on him first and then him sending it back, it never returns void. And it's always synchronous. It's going to be an interesting walk for me moving forward. I'm very interested to see how this goes. But I think the entire premise of any relationship, even friendships, should be based on this. It's teaching you the alignment principles of a good-natured being. It's more than just people. It's your nature itself that this book is working on. I love Jesus. I love how this works. Base your relationship on Jesus first. Every relationship. And if they can do the same, you will have such reciprocal properties that wouldn't be possible otherwise. We're just not good enough. We wouldn't need a Jesus if we could do this without him. We wouldn't. But we do. And we have him. So utilize him. You're not God. Thinking you can do it without him makes you God. So, love you. Jesus loves you too.